Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to the Lance McLaughlin Show. This is episode 11, which is actually kind of crazy, but I really appreciate all the support. We got some things to talk about today. Now, this episode is going to be heavily focused on kind of like Twitch and gaming and YouTube, and then there's going to be a little spattering of some other things thrown in, but there's just a lot to talk about on that side of things. So, first things first, Ludwig leaves for YouTube. Ludwig left Twitch to switch and stream on YouTube. And some people have some things to say about his leaving. Most people are happy. Most people are excited. You know, you want to see creators get paid, even if it's not yourself, because that means one day in magical fairyland, you will then somehow get that much money. You want him to be happy if you support him. But there's some people like Trainwrecks who had some words for Ludwig based on him leaving and his reasons for leaving. So basically what Ludwig said was that he didn't feel valued at Twitch. Didn't feel like Twitch wanted him because during his negotiations, he gave YouTube like terms and they were like, okay, we'll see what we can do. And then whenever YouTube was able to come through with those terms, he went back to Twitch, as you do in business deals. You try to get as much leverage on one side and then go to the other side and leverage more and then back and forth. And he went back to Twitch and was like, okay, so this is what, like, I'm going there. What can you do to keep me, essentially? And all they said was, see you later. See you later, alligator. Essentially, it was just like, hey, we don't care. Bye. We know that that you have the sub record on Twitch. Bye. We know that that you've made us tons of money and you're a huge, massive streamer and influence on the platform. Bye. And so Ludwig was like, yeah, I didn't feel valued on Twitch, so I'm going to go to YouTube. And I don't blame him at all. I mean, it's long been known that Twitch does not really give a shit. They really don't. You would think that they would care about their top creators, but at the end of the day, the unfortunate truth is when you leave, somebody is there to replace you. And I think one of the grandest examples of this is Dr. Disrespect. Like Dr. Disrespect, they just outright banned him. People still don't know why. There's all sorts of theories floating around. And in my opinion, if it was really bad, we would have heard about it. Like if it was something along the lines of, and I could be super wrong here, but if it was something along the lines of like sexual assault or something like, I don't know, money laundering or something, we would have heard about it. I really believe that. I think it would have come out. I think people have fat mouths that they can't keep shut, and I think that we would have heard about it. Now, they got rid of him, in my opinion, to free up money to secure other people like Logic. I mean, are you shitting me, dude? They signed Logic, the rapper. And I'm not saying Logic is necessarily a bad guy, but like, how are you gonna give money to somebody who is a fucking rapper, a musician who dabbles on Twitch? Like, he's not like he dabbles. And this is me 100% being a little bit bitter, but not bitter for myself, bitter because I guess a little bit for myself. In imaginary fairy tale land, if I was a streamer that had 5,000 viewers a stream, right? And I had been on Twitch for 8 years, and they go and give a contract to somebody who's already a multimillionaire and is a rapper, I would be pissed. I'd be pissed because like it's just so disrespectful, and that just shows that they don't care. And fucking they banned Dr. Disrespect, who's one of the top people on the platform. So Twitch has shown no loyalty to anybody. So why would anybody show loyalty back to them? And I've preached this and preached this and preached this. And Trainwrecks essentially said something along those lines, but kind of went the other direction with it. On his stream, people were asking him about it, and he was like, Ludwig didn't feel valued at YouTube. And he was saying that like him and his little group of people and like everybody on OTK and stuff like that is all like the golden boys of Twitch and the poster children for Twitch. And while he's sitting there, now granted, you know, some of the things he does, Twitch, I don't know necessarily wants to be associated with, like the gambling and stuff. That's neither here nor there. But essentially, he was saying like he averages over 20,000 subs a month. He averages something like 20 to 30,000 viewers a stream, and Twitch just flat out ignores him. And it's true. It's true. Him and another streamer by the name of Pay Money Wubby, Twitch just kind of leaves alone, like in their own little corner, but they threaten to ban him all the time. Sometimes in the case of Pay Money Wubby, he got banned for streaming in a restaurant. Like, but Twitch wanted to promote IRL streaming, and they called it a privacy thing. And it's like, that's just the most bullshit reason to ban somebody. Like, staff clearly picks favorites. The moderation team clearly has notes on who to ban, who not to ban. It's actually ridiculous. And so you have people like Train and Pay Money Wubby, who are some of the largest creators in the entire platform that Twitch flat out ignores but actively tries to get rid of, similar to how they would do with Dr. Disrespect. And so Train was saying that Ludwig had no right to say that he felt underappreciated. And he called him spoiled and things like that. And I mean, I get it and I don't. I get it and I don't. I think Train's stuff comes from a place of, there's some truth there. There really is. There's some real truth there. But there's also a little bit of bitterness in there. He feels slighted by the platform that he stayed on. But I think his contract is up in the next like month or two, and I think XQC's contract is up in the next month or two. And so we'll see. We'll see how all this shit shakes out. But I don't blame anybody for going to YouTube personally. I think fucking Twitch needs the wake-up call, because what Twitch honest to God believes is that they are the Big Daddy Dick, okay? They got the fat cock, and even if, you know, your side piece, which is your streamers, want to run off to go fuck YouTube for two years, or fuck with Facebook for 2 years, or fuck with Mixer for 2 years, after that 2 years, you're going to come back to the Big Daddy with the big dick. You know what I mean? Like, that's what they think. Because for the most part, that's what's happened. And like, Mixer streamers just came back to Twitch. They went and got their money and then came back to Twitch, right? They secured their bag and then came back. And Disguised Toast was like one of the biggest Facebook streamers. He left to go to Facebook to catch more money than God, and then just switched back to Twitch. And it's like he never even left. He's back up to like, I think, averaging like 10, 15,000 viewers, some shit like that on Twitch. Like, that's just the nature of it. And so that's what Twitch thinks. But I think something that people are overlooking is the fact that people going to YouTube don't come back. Every streamer that I've seen that has switched to YouTube is now averaging more viewers, making more money, and has no intentions of coming back to Twitch. Now, granted, has it taken them a little bit to get there? Yeah, I'm sure they eat shit right up front for a little bit, unless you're like Tim the Tatman or Dr. Lupo or somebody like that. But like, I'm talking about general streamers. There's a streamer that I know by the name of Legend of Total War. Surprise, surprise, he plays a lot of the Total War series. He was streaming on Twitch, averaging anywhere from like 70 to 120 viewers, right? He switches to YouTube. He averages like 2,000 viewers now. And because he got banned on Twitch for 30 days because of some bullshit, like most people, and ended up switching over to YouTube, and is now like super successful on there in terms of the live streaming space. You have people like Harris Heller. A lot of people know Harris for the free music and shit that he puts out, and the stream tips videos and stuff. Harris Heller, some of you might know him as Alpha Gaming. You might know him from there. But the guy from Alpha Gaming, he was on Twitch and was successful on Twitch. Wound up switching over to YouTube and is now happier on YouTube, even though he even talked about it, that he was losing like $10,000 a month or something like that from like his Switch initially. But it's like, you eat shit for a second to get in a better situation and a happier situation, and then you're better off for it, right? And then like those are just a couple of examples of people that didn't get paid millions of dollars to switch to YouTube. They're not coming back. They have a platform now. They're very happy over there, and that's just kind of the way it is. People are leaving to go to YouTube, and they don't come back. Sure, people came back from Mixer, yeah, because they didn't have a viewer base. People came back from Facebook because it's Facebook, dude. Like, do you have any idea if you felt isolated on YouTube, which is the biggest complaint that I've heard? Imagine going to Facebook. Like, how isolated you must feel streaming over there. I got offered a Facebook partnership. I said no, because I would switch to YouTube before I'd switch anywhere. I've actively been playing around with switching to YouTube in terms of streaming, just because the split is better from a monetary standpoint. I'm a partner on YouTube, so I would actually get more benefits switching to YouTube than I would have on Twitch. Whereas I'm still stuck at affiliate status. I average like a couple hundred subs on Twitch, and anywhere from 60 to 100 plus viewers, and I'm still stuck as an affiliate. And so like, I'm just wondering, if it would be beneficial for me to switch to YouTube. I've thought about it. I don't blame anybody that leaves, because Twitch is just turning into there's not any care there anymore. Everybody who is the heart and soul of that platform, in terms of staff, in terms of the kind of like OGs that knew what Twitch was, they're all gone. And so what it's turned into is Twitch is turning into a turnkey operation for Amazon. It's like they just think they're so big that that they can just leave the platform there and let it do what it's going to do, and let the platform just try to generate money and generate interest, and then they use Twitch as an advertising billboard for Amazon. That's all it is to Amazon. It is an advertising billboard. Do you have any idea how many ads you see on a daily basis for Twitch Prime, which is just signing you up for Amazon Prime? How many ads you see on a daily basis for Twitch drops, which games pay to do that? Like, all Twitch is just a big advertising billboard for Amazon. And so I don't know if they necessarily care how much money it necessarily brings in directly from Twitch. I think they care how much money it brings in indirectly through advertisements. Like, that's literally all it is. It's kind of ridiculous that people haven't been paying attention to that. It's not like, and I don't think they care. I think it's literally just gotten so big now. Again, it is turned into a fucking turnkey operation where they don't have to put much interest in it, and it's going to generate revenue through other things. Fucking Twitch Prime, Amazon Prime, fucking Twitch drops. They allow you to do watch parties, okay, which you would think that's such a cool feature for creators to be able to do watch parties. We can watch shows with our community. That's dope. Oh, man, that's awesome. But the only way that you can do that is if you have Twitch Prime, and if members of your community feel left out, maybe they do sign up for Amazon Prime to then get into your watch party. It's all just circling back to making money for Amazon. And I don't know. I just don't blame people for leaving. I don't, because the main difference between Twitch and YouTube, because I understand everybody's like, Lance, YouTube does this, YouTube doesn't give a shit. But the main difference is Fwiz. Fwiz from YouTube has been out front talking to people in the community on Twitter and on YouTube, and advocating not only for better features. He's a direct line, essentially, for people to give feedback on the live features. And since he has been doing that, I have seen a complete 180 in the live service for YouTube. Really. I mean, seriously. Like, features are getting implemented at a much better pace. features that people are actively asking for are being implemented. And in my eyes, he is the face of YouTube live streaming, strictly because of that. Because he's the one that is, I'm assuming also, he's the one that's helping to negotiate a lot of these deals as well. He's like in the calls talking to people, making sure in Ludwig's case that they feel wanted, that they understand that they're appreciated. And would that ever happen with me? No. I'm never going to get a meeting with Fwiz to fucking talk about coming over to YouTube. But there is not a single person on Twitch that I can look to and be like, that's the person. You right there. You're the person that I can talk to. You're the person that I know is going to get things done. And if you do things wrong, you're also the person that is going to fix the error and tell me that you did something wrong. All Twitch does now is whenever they fuck up, they just try to like sweep it under the rug. They got hacked. The super big leak that happened very clearly happened from an employee or ex-employee of Twitch. There's no way that somebody released the information they released, had the information they had, without them being an employee there or an ex-employee there. It's just not... That's not how that works. And the fact that happened and all Twitch did was send out an email saying, hey, reset your stream key. Like... My God, what are you doing? There's also a massive money laundering scheme going on right now. It's something like 2,000 or 3,000 Turkish streamers are laundering tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars through Twitch, through like it's like using Iran phone schemes. It's like those call schemes where they try to trick your grandmother into buying gift cards and shit like that. They're laundering money through Turkish streamers. And like, I didn't even know this was a thing until I got an email from, it's a scam email, but I got an email essentially offering to do that for me. Like if I signed up in this service, they would give me huge amounts of bits, but I would have to kick back like 30% of what they gave me. It's this huge fucking scheme that's running through Twitch right now, and they just won't acknowledge that it's happening. They don't care that it's happening. What they're doing is they're holding people's payments because there's random streamers that have just been like, holy shit, like I have 1 billion subs this month. Holy shit, like I've gotten so many bits this month, like my payout's going to be huge. I'm talking thousands of dollars in payouts, like 5,000 plus, 10,000 plus dollars. For streamers that don't get that on a regular basis, and Twitch is just freezing their payments, and it's just, they don't want to acknowledge that there's an actual issue going on, and I don't understand. What are we doing? What is going on here? Okay, your stream, your platform is a front for money laundering. Like, come on. What is this, an NFT? And it's just, I know how people feel. And I've seen how Twitter feels, which we've talked about this. Twitter's not real. But people on Twitter are adamant about streamers switching to YouTube being bad. I'll never use YouTube. I'll never use YouTube live streams. I don't go there for live content. I don't watch it. I don't do none of it. And it's like, okay, but you probably don't have people that have streamed on YouTube that you're subbed to. And the reason why I say that is because whenever people go live on YouTube, it bumps their live stream to the top of your subscription box. It bumps their live stream to the top of your little sidebar subscriptions. That tells you like when people have posted new videos and shows you all the accounts you're subscribed to. It literally puts it to the top of the list. So these people that are talking shit, being like, I'll never use YouTube for live streaming. I've never watched a YouTube live stream in my life. It's like, well, first of all, if you've never watched one, how do you know you don't like it? Two, it's very clear to me that you either don't use YouTube very often or you're not subscribed to anybody who does live streams. I've watched YouTube live streams. I have. Why? Because there's people that I'm subbed to. The Legend of Total War is a perfect example. Dr. Disrespect is another perfect example. Now Tim, I've watched Lupo's stream. Like, all of these people, because I'm on YouTube, I see their live streams, and it pushes it to the top of my sub box. I'm like, okay, let's check out their stream. Let's see what they're doing. You know, I don't get butt fucked with ads right whenever I click on a stream. So I mean, it's not a bad service, and people that don't let people sway you into thinking that nobody watches YouTube live streams, because that's just not true. It's just a flat out blatant lie that people are pulling out of their ass because they have no actual knowledge about what they're talking about. They're not. They either don't use YouTube or they just don't have anybody who streams on YouTube. And that's fine. That's fair if that's what you want to look at. But, like, people will sit there and actively be like, I'll never use YouTube. I'm not using that shit. Their live service is so bad. It's like, how many streams do you watch, dude? And people will bring up issues that the platform had a year ago that has completely been resolved and hasn't been an issue for a long time. Like, people are like, I hate the chat location. Oh my God, the chat is covering up the stream. That's not a real thing. That's not a thing anymore. That used to be a thing when YouTube didn't know what the fuck they were doing, and they were putting chat like over the fucking screen. But there's a little button where you can enable or disable live chat if you want to. You can watch the stream like a YouTube video if you want and just hit live chat and turn it off. And I know it sounds like I'm defending the platform, because I kind of am at this point. I kind of am, because there's just so many stupid fucking people that don't know what they're talking about. They have no idea. They're so behind. And they'll get on Twitter and all of a sudden they're an expert. It's like, you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about, dude. You don't. Like, what are you doing? Since when did we start listening to the Village Idiot? The guy that doesn't stream. The guy that watches streams once a month whenever fucking Shroud is streaming something other than New World. Like, why are we listening to that guy? Why are we not listening to streamers? Why are we not listening to viewers who are actively in communities on both sites, not just Twitch? Don't listen to just Twitch people, because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about either. They're in their little Twitch bubble where everything is watered down and censored. Like, Twitch is such a fucking mess of censorship. And, like, you can't do anything on that platform without just being terrified of losing everything. And I'm not even talking about saying, like, awful shit. Like, I got mad at fucking the donut operator douchebag who, like, reviews police shootings. I don't like. Let me just get this out of the way. I'm not a huge fan of the content that he makes, so that's why it pissed me off so bad. But there was a bunch of people defending, like, what he said, and it's like, dude, you just can't. Even, especially when you're in a charity stream, like, you can't, like, throw out a homophobic slur, even in jest, whenever you're streaming to that many people. Does that make sense? Like, as much as people want Twitch and streaming to be like hanging out with your buds, like, when you're streaming to that many people, I mean, you're essentially sitting in the middle of a fucking basketball arena with a microphone. And you just can't say shit like that. And that's the unfortunate truth. You just can't. And so I got mad whenever he was saying his stupid shit. And that's why you will see Twitch chat get so political so fast if you bring up one point that is either left or right leaning. You will see Twitch chat devolve into the just fucking mouth breathers that they all are every single time. And I'm not even like a political person. I talk about it because, you know, it's current events, and I think it's funny watching people fight over trivial shit. I think it's funny watching people fight over how rich people are treating each other. I think it's funny watching people grovel over the millions of dollars that somebody else has. Like, defending people that don't need defending, essentially. Like, I think it's funny. I'm not even really a political person. But it interests me how just, I guess, desperate people are to be able to just talk about anything, to be able to just say something without immediately feeling attacked, getting banned, losing their livelihood if you're a streamer. Like, you can't do anything. You're just handcuffed. Whereas, like, if you look at something like YouTube, I don't ever see people get banned from YouTube. And in my personal opinion, YouTube puts the power in the hands of the creator to not only make the content they want to make, and it lets them talk about the things that they want to talk about, with risk of being demonetized for one reason or another. But they're not going to ban you just outright in a sense of the way Twitch has banned people. I have not seen it. Most of the time, whenever people get banned on YouTube, I'm like, yeah, I can kind of see why. Yeah, I kind of get it. But now what ends up happening is whatever video or stream you said that in, they'll maybe demonetize it. They'll give you a yellow demonetization, which is like limited ads. And it's not as bad as it was a couple years ago. And that's the sentiment that I keep seeing parroted by the village idiots on fucking Twitter, which is, oh, YouTube will ruin your life. YouTube will demonetize you and get rid of you and all this shit. And it's like, dude, that's not happening. It's not 2017 whenever those media outlets were writing those articles about PewDiePie being a fucking Nazi. Like that doesn't happen anymore. Excuse me. Oh God. Okay. Oh, but it's not happening anymore. People are behind on their information, and it is, I don't know if upsetting is the right word for me. It is, it's frustrating though. It's frustrating because it's frustrating for me in the same way that, like, people still talk about Cyberpunk like it's some awful game. And it's just so clear to me that you have not touched this game since it came out. I recently just streamed an entire week of Cyberpunk. I streamed 70 plus hours of Cyberpunk in a week. And just did not have the issues that people are still talking about. There's none. I have video proof of all of it because it's all uploaded. It was live streamed and then uploaded to YouTube. And like, it's, I did not have the issues. Only had one issue where the fucking fights, the street fights are messed up because of the gorilla arms, but that's whatever. But people will still talk about Cyberpunk like it's a bad game. It's like, dude, you don't play the game. Stop talking. It's like those fucking losers that want to critique NBA players whenever they've never touched a basketball in their entire life. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, the internet has given people free thought, and you're okay. It's okay to have an opinion, but people will parrot and preach their shitty fucking opinions. Their shitty opinions that have no merit. They have no knowledge of the topic, and they will parrot their opinions over and over and over as fact. And they will defend it as fact. It's like, you can have your shitty opinion, but you're speaking in absolutes, and it's sad. It's sad because you look stupid. You don't realize how stupid you look, but you look stupid. Oh, there's the trains, the daily trains, dude. We got, how deep we get in? About half this episode we got in. Here comes the trains, everybody. Fuck me, dude. God damn. I just want to go Fight Club on those trains so bad. I really do. But like, it's frustrating for me because I even saw a YouTube video the other day where a YouTuber was like, didn't play the game. They just took footage from somebody else's playthrough and clipped it all together and talked over it in a commentary, like video essay form, and was talking about how bad the game was. Like, dude, you didn't even fucking play it. You didn't even experience it. You experienced it through somebody else's eyes, and like, it's not the same. And people just spewing stupid shit with no knowledge and no actual like expertise in the field. And it's kind of ridiculous. I don't know. But I mean, I guess, like, long story short, like, YouTube is not a bad streaming platform. YouTube's actually great for streaming. I may end up on YouTube one of these days. I don't know when. It could happen today. I have no fucking clue. With the way my head works, dude, I'm all over the place, so I could stream on YouTube today. And just wouldn't even bat an eye about it. I don't care. But I think it's weird how people will have their views swayed by a Twitter poll talking about, like, Fucking, would you watch somebody who switched to YouTube? If your favorite streamer in the world switched to YouTube, would you switch? And people will be like, no, I wouldn't switch. It's like, dude, that's your favorite creator. That's your favorite creator. And you won't switch? You won't watch them on something else? Then you don't like them. I've just got to be 100% honest here. If you have a quote-unquote favorite creator, but you won't open up a different browser tab to watch them, I don't understand what we're doing here. You don't like them. You like the convenience of them being on a platform that you like more. Like, what are you doing? Stop saying your favorite streamer switches platforms and you won't follow them. You're a fucking idiot. You're a dumbass. Like, what do you... You got brand loyalty that hard to a fucking platform that'll get rid of you permanently over a misclick? I don't get it, dude. You guys are stupid. Twitch chat is full of the weirdest people, and Twitch people on Twitter are worse. They're so much worse. Just ridiculous shit, man. Shameless, ridiculous stupidity just out there for everybody to see. And it hurts me. It hurts me in here. Because it's something that I've been a part of for so long. And in all honesty, just like watching it, I don't want to say go away, because I don't think Twitch is going to go away. But like, things have shifted. Things have shifted harder than people realize, I think. And it's strange how a lot of people will just close their eyes and ignore the fact that things are shifting. Twitch is not the big daddy anymore. Who did they sign? You want to talk about Twitch? Let's look at what YouTube has acquired. YouTube acquired Dr. Lupo, who was not only a good influence on Twitch, but was a massive charity influence. So you have a huge draw in terms of the whole corporate side of things. We want to look good, so we want to go to the charitable one. So you lose Lupo, you lose Tim the Tap Man, who is now like one of the faces, if not the face of Complexity, who is traveling the fucking country doing streams inside of football arenas. And is arguably a more recognizable face than most streamers. YouTube has Dr. Disrespect, even though I don't think they paid Dr. Disrespect. I don't think they can pay Dr. Disrespect. Let me say that. Because Dr. Disrespect has all the legal shit going on with Twitch right now, like he's still like in that legal battle with them, trying to either get his money or which I think he will. I really do. I think he'll win that. I mean, Phantom Lord did. Phantom Lord got his money, and that was so long ago, nobody even remembers. But you have Dr. Disrespect. You have Courage, and Courage is, whether you love or hate Courage, okay? Courage is a recognizable name, a recognizable face in the space, and is continuing to grow and do more shit, right? You have, they essentially have 100 Thieves. Like, YouTube essentially has 100 Thieves, because Nadeshot removed his Twitch partnership so that way he could stream and like talk about other shit. It was something with the Call of Duty League. So they don't even have, Twitch doesn't have Nadeshot anymore, who's the fucking head of 100 Thieves. Like, YouTube essentially locked up 100 Thieves, which is a massive, they're one of the biggest, if not the biggest recognizable brand in esports. And I know that a lot of people are going to argue that, but I'm serious. Like, you want to talk about what they're doing in esports and how people call them a hoodie organization, quote unquote, because they sell merch. But that merch is what makes them such a recognizable brand. Right now, I know old heads like me. I know, like, for me, like, whenever I think of esports, I think of shit like Optic. I think of SKTT1. Right? Like, that's what I think of. And, but like, for the Zoomers, 100 Thieves is where it's at. It's like, bro, I got the fucking hoodie, dog. Check it out, bro. Got the fucking 100 Thieves hoodie. I got the 100 Thieves pants. And then also what they're doing in Valorant, like, they're doing good. They're getting there in terms of their shit. So that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about in terms of, like, right now, modern esports are super recognizable. One of the biggest, largest followings in esports, and they essentially have that locked up on YouTube. And I just don't think that YouTube is the slouch that everybody thinks it is. It's definitely been like a safe haven for a lot of people, and maybe I am defending it a little too hard because there are issues with switching to YouTube, but what I'm saying is, like, stop dick riding Twitch so hard. That's why I'm kind of like leaning into like the YouTube streaming thing, is because people are just blowing Twitch, just like, oh, like they're just the deepest throat of Twitch cock, and I don't know where it's coming from. What did Twitch do for you? You pay for everything. Oh, and YouTube gives a better sub split as well. If you sub to streamers on YouTube, they get a 70-30 split instead of a 50-50 split. So that's another check mark for them. So, like, what has Twitch done for you? The streamers are what have done shit for you. Twitch hasn't done anything for you. And that's real. I want you to think about that. Just fucking sit and think for a second. What has Twitch directly done for me? Nothing. They don't do anything. They don't care. The streamers is what you're loyal to, and I totally get that, but don't get it twisted. Don't mix it up. Don't mix up streamer loyalty or your favorite communities being on Twitch right now with Twitch loyalty. Twitch didn't do anything. It's weird. People mix that up. It's like people that can't realize fact from fiction or nonfiction from fiction. People that can't separate the two. People that can't separate like an actor playing a role in a movie as them being an actor. Like they're like, they played a racist in a movie, so they must be a racist. Like, that's not how that works. It's called acting. Separate it. Come on, use them. Rub them brain cells together. I know you can do it. I know you can make the connection that they're portraying. They're meant to portray something horrible. They're meant to make you feel something terrible. They're meant to make you uncomfortable. And it's okay to feel uncomfortable. They're meant to do that. That is literally their role in the movie or the show, is to make you feel uncomfortable. And that's good that you feel uncomfortable. They're not a racist. They're not a bad person. They're playing a character. And I know I've talked pretty much the entire time on Twitch and YouTube and streaming and gaming and stuff, and I told you guys kind of at the beginning that was going to happen, but it's just something that it needed to be talked about, because so many people now have left for YouTube, and apparently they're not done. Apparently there's more people that they're talking to that may switch, and we could see even larger shakeups in the Twitch space, and good. You know, I mean, good. I don't know what else to say. I mean, we need it. As streamers, as viewers, everybody, we need it, and it's definitely something that needed to happen, because Twitch needed to get kicked in the balls to realize that just because somebody leaves Twitch doesn't mean they're coming back. People don't come back when they go to stream on YouTube, and that's real shit. People don't. People generally leave because they're mad at Twitch and they don't want to go back. Twitch is the abusive ex that they don't want to go to. They don't want to go crawling back to. And so people will put up with whatever hindrances get put on them by YouTube to get away from Twitch. That's how bad it is. And I don't know. That's why I've been telling people, fucking, if you want to support, if you really want to support, fucking sub to the Patreon, man. Check out the Patreon. I have a pay what you want model at the moment, just kind of a $1 tier, and you get access to everything. And people have been using it. You know, some people have been switching their subs over from Twitch to Patreon, and it's because Patreon doesn't take 50% of all my revenue, and I am still bitter about that. I really am. I am still very bitter about that, but that's the nature of things. That's how things go. That's how the cookie crumbles. You know, I chose to do this. I chose to use that platform, and we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. I may be on the street fucking with a cup before too long, but, you know, maybe it would be better than Twitch. I don't know. I try to work through this shit in my head, and I try to use this podcast sometimes to work through it, and who knows? Maybe I've helped some of you as well with that decision. I don't know, or maybe look at it a little differently. But there is a couple more things that I wanted to talk about before we get out of here today. And that is the fact that the Chinese tennis player, I almost said Twitter player, tennis player, I don't know how to say the name. It's Peng Shuai. She had come out and claimed that it was actually more than I think it was more than a claim, but maybe they call it an allegation. Let me see what verbiage they use here. So in a 1,600-word post on Weibo earlier this month, Miss Peng said former Vice Premier Zhang Gaoli had forced her to have sexual relations with her. It is the first time an allegation has been made against one of China's senior political leaders. And after she said that, she's missing. Nobody knows where she is. There's this whole like free Peng thing going on. Apparently, there's a CNN interview where a gentleman by the name of Dick Pound is the one that they chose to have this interview. And I think that was strategic, in my opinion, because people are 100% not focusing on the fact that this is a person that is missing. This is a human being that went missing after criticizing somebody who's a member of government. Twitter, as Twitter does, just said Dick Pound is trending, and all Twitter is doing is making jokes about the fact that his name is Dick Pound, because it's honestly hilarious. Is he pounding his dick, or does he have a pound of dick? Who knows? Spin the wheel. Maybe you'll find out. So people are like making jokes about this guy's name being Dick Pound, and they don't care about the interview, and they don't care about the Chinese tennis player. He apparently came out and said that she's fine. That's all he said, was she's fine. But nobody knows where she is. So we'll follow that maybe a little more closely. But essentially, yeah, she's just missing after saying that this guy forced her to have sex. And she's just missing. And in an interview, just said, she's fine. But they had a guy named Dick Pound do the interview. I think that's strategic. I don't think anything happens just, anything in that regard happens by accident. And again, nobody's really listening to the interview or watching the interview. Everybody's just like, oh, Dick Pound. Oh, wouldn't trust Dick Pound on women's safety. Wouldn't trust Dick Pound with my people. Like, it's just like, I don't know. That's what everybody's clinging to is the name of the interview. But it is hilarious. Is my man pounding his dick? Or does he have a pounded dick? Those are the real questions people need to be asking. But no, I do hope that she's okay. And I do hope that they get that sorted out. And like I said, I'll update in the next episode if they end up finding Miss Peng. Oh, fucking somebody tweeted a Simpsons image. It's Mo answering the phone. If any of you have watched The Simpsons, you'll get this. He says, Dick Pound, is there a Dick Pound here? Yeah. So, that's kind of all I've got for today. I know it's not the full hour. I know the Patreon episode was a little bit shorter as well. We're quality over quantity here. You get quality. What do you want? No, I hope that it didn't come off too weird today, and I hope that that some of you enjoyed it. And I know not everybody cares about streaming or Twitch or any of that shit, but if you're on YouTube, you should care about this because it makes YouTube a bigger platform, and it makes YouTube even better than what it was. If you have streamers coming over here, then you get more content as a YouTube viewer. Or if you're just listening to this, you don't give a shit about anything I just said. And I'm so sorry that this episode was primarily about streaming. This is just something that I've been dealing with over the last week because people have been asking me about it constantly. And I decided to get on here and talk about it. So that way, now whenever people ask me about it, I can shamelessly plug my podcast and just send them to this episode and have them listen to it. So thank you so much for listening, for supporting. Check out the Patreon for bonus episodes every Monday. The last episode I uploaded was a banger. I it was fun. It was fun to record that one. There was a lot of frustration and anger built up, but it came out in a beautiful way. And so check out the Patreon if you have not. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.